Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Leadership Lessons with Cheri, the place where you can get a little nugget of something to help you on your leadership journey and really help you become that leader you were born to be. I have to share with you, and I know I've said this before, but if you're catching me for the first time, just to kind of give you some context to this week's episode, I think I fell into leadership accidentally. Now, as a child playing in the neighborhood, I was always the organizer of what we did. If we were going to ride bikes, I would tell everybody, get your bikes and meet at such and such place and let's ride. If we were going to run or play a different sport, the same thing. If we were going to play with just the girls in the neighborhood and we were going to do our Barbies or our dolls or whatever we were doing as young children, that was me. I remember telling people, I'm not bossy. I just have good ideas, right? So I probably should have known that this was coming because I could see what people enjoyed doing and I wanted people to have fun. I wanted people to enjoy their time together. And growing up in the 70s and the 80s, which was so long ago, we didn't have video games. I mean, they came along, but we were a little bit older and we didn't have cell phones and we didn't have all that. So we had to make games up, in our neighborhoods. And we literally spent from sunrise to sunset on days we weren't at school outside playing. However, as I started to grow up, I got to this place where I started to be more insecure and intimidated due to other circumstances in my life, due to the way I kind of grew into my body. There was a lot of things going on for me. And so transitioning to Houston from my very small town into the teaching profession, I made a decision at that time to change my confidence level, to really work on building that and growing. And quickly, again, not that I thought I would ever leave a classroom, but people saw in me these leadership qualities. You might be sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, she's talking about my journey. Because I think for so many of us, especially women, that happens, right? We set out to do one thing, but people see something in us and it completely changes our trajectory. And I've done that with my own employees, right? I can feel after I've gotten to know them just a little bit within a short period of time, which ones are going to be the up and comers, which ones are going to be very, very happy and very, very successful, staying right at the level they are, and then which ones might not make it. You can feel that. I think that's part of a quality, a characteristics of a good leader. So I moved up pretty quickly in my educational career into leadership, and I was able to do some great things. And as I started to pivot into this entrepreneur world, I honestly have felt like a rookie for such a long period of time. I know that I have leadership qualities. I know that I have some excellent training. I've had some of the best training in the United States, I have to tell you. I've learned from some of the very, very best. I have studied at some of the best universities. I have had some of the most interesting experiences that I've either learned lessons from or it just kind of reinforced that I was on the right track. And I feel very confident with those kinds of, with that kind of a background in leadership. But I also knew that going into this, I knew nothing about marketing, nothing about sales, nothing about organizing a day that's not kind of already laid out and structured for you. And building, I knew about building networks, but building networks in a realm that you were maybe not an authority in any longer. And I felt like I was back to my very early days of teaching. And I stumbled upon an opportunity most recently for me to be able to go through a program where I have now completed and I will officially be certified in leadership development. And I'm super excited about this because I do strongly believe, and the reason I started this YouTube podcast is because leadership is the make or break of any organization. The leader has so much influence on the success of the business, of the school, of the nonprofit, of the family, the anything, y'all. Leadership comes in so many different shapes and sizes, but if the leader is not moving in the right direction with the rest of the people, nothing is going to work. Leadership to me is so crucial to the success of anything. And because I believe in that, I really have found a passion for wanting to help people be that leader they were born to be, as I say each week on this show. We have these characteristics in us already to step into those positions, or we have the potential to be able to learn how to step into those positions because we have the heart for it. But I think sometimes we get bogged down in rules and regulations and expectations and influences of others and judgments and even maybe a little imposter syndrome and maybe some self-doubt and things that we don't necessarily get to that level of success where we are empowering others to do the good work. Sometimes I see leaders go into this with such a big goal, right? They have the passion, they have the why. And then they get to a place where they start to get bogged down because maybe they haven't developed all the skills yet. And here's what I see happen. Tell me if you've ever seen this. You can leave me a comment on this. I would love to hear your thoughts. You can reach out to me, share with me your thoughts on this because this is one of those theories I have. But when you're not fully prepared, you don't take the time to learn, you don't embrace the supports that are around you or reach out for the supports that you need, then you go into that mode of, what do I want to say? Micromanagement. You ever feel that? Have you ever seen that, experienced it, maybe yourself, or maybe a leader that you've worked under or been associated with? Because you start to feel out of control with what's happening, your skills are not at the level where they need to be. You still have that big belief that you can do something, so you don't want to quit, but then you go into that mode of micromanagement and everything becomes about data and quotas and this black and white, this, that only. And it's no longer about empowering the people. So going into this certification, this opportunity, it lit my heart up because I'm known in the educational world or, was for work that I did there, but I also want to be known at that same level for work that I do in my business. Not only will this give me more skills because it has really developed some skills that I have now that I will be able to help leaders in so many ways, but it will also give me this credibility, so to speak, for people to really know, yes, she is the real deal. She can come in and help me be the leader, the strong leader that will stand in front of their people when they need to, that will stand beside their people if the situation warrants that, and will stand behind and let their people shine when they're ready. And that truly is my philosophy of leadership. So officially, I have finished the program. I should be receiving my certification here in just a couple days. Also, it'll be mailed to me, and that will be another certificate to just add to the great things that I've done in my career. But most importantly, this means opening doors for new opportunities, for people to come on board, work with me, and really develop those leadership skills. So many great things are going to be coming in regard to this in 2024. And I just wanted to put the word out because it's time. It's time to get the word out there. It's time for people to know this is what I've been working on behind the scenes, that I am just, I feel so confident that the work we could do together in the future. If you are an up and coming leader, you've been in the position, but you need some extra support, you need that mentorship, that work. That's what's going to make you the leader you were born to be. All right, guys, I will be back next week with another episode of Leadership Lessons with Cheri. And in the meantime, enjoy this one, and hopefully it gave you that little nugget you need to move yourself forward.